Hello, 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 hello. I hope that you're doing well. And I hope that my mic works as well. So, hopefully, everything is working properly. Guys, would like to talk a little bit about the markets, what's going on, and overall um, health and state of the market in general. So, I think that the last couple of days, and today is the 20th of May, um, we've seen a little bit of I would say, a breathing, at least in the Iranian conflict. And maybe let's start with crude oil. Initially, we saw a little bit of breathing in the conflict, but again, as you can see, oil kind of did what expected. Um, so I would say it was more. It felt that there's not real big news coming into over the ticker the last couple of days. So I would say that the focus moved away from the Iranian conflict, from oil-driven panic moves, more or less to the AI kind of bubble, yeah, and AI conversations. We had the second, the I think one of the founders of OpenAI moved to Anthropic. I think this came over the ticker yesterday, and there was also this um, thing between Sam Altman and Elon Musk, which is also obviously kind of in the news. Um, Having said that, maybe let's start with oil. I said nothing unexpected here. We have here above about in this 110, 108 till $110 area. We have supply. Oil in this case did exactly what I was hoping for. So we will need to see if oil can really go above this $110 on a daily close basis. We should open up room for more. Personally, I believe we will get more to the upside. Okay, I really believe that we will go up way more. 130, 150 is definitely something which is, in my opinion, in the works. Okay, nothing goes up in just one go normally, but I still believe that that trading of oil around 130 is definitely something we will see and will get. Right now, state though is the same like we had before. We're trading here in this range, and meaning if you want to play the range, you would be looking for shorts here towards the mean, towards the $90 area, or vice versa, buying the 80s. Okay, so that's really what's going on there. Um, Nasdaq and the S&P pulled back the last couple of days, so this crazy rally started to breathe a little bit. Has it stopped? Will we get new all-time highs? I don't know. It's just something what we can see that the market stabilizes today, this morning in the pre-market session, and we will see in the end if this can hold. If it holds, obviously, market will try to lift higher again towards 29,500. And me personally, I believe that the $30,000 point level is too sexy to ignore for the market. So that's kind of where I stand, you know. So that's really what I believe, that the market will try to go to this $30,000, 30,000 point level here in the Nasdaq. The Dow is a little bit behaving, I would say, more reasonable. I mean, and I said this a couple of times before. The Dow is kind of holding this $50,000 area or supply zone. So it had issues to really trade above it. So we have still apply around this 50,000 point level. We really need to go above it overall, more or less really above 50,300 in order to open room. And then we have the all-time high. And then we should really push higher dramatically. Other than that, if we cannot really go above, we will go lower, in my opinion. Um, so what we can observe, I mean, and this is something which we can observe, obviously, is that the tech-driven stocks are way more agile, way more aggressive, and the standard stocks have issues. Okay, and this is something we can observe here. So obviously there is not a Palantir or not a AMD in the Dow, and that's the reason why we are lagging here. So this gives a better idea, I believe, of the market compared to the Nasdaq right now. When we look at the S&P, kind of same picture, and this is when we have a look at that, already showing that the market move was too crazy in a too short amount of time. 20%, close to 20%. But again, it's tough to call a top. And some people say now, hey, this was the top and blah blah blah. But in the end, the market decides. Kind of feels like that we are in this last final big push to the upside. But in the end, I'm not here to judge and to predict. Personally, again, I'm more looking to find good shorts. Right now, I think that we could get another move up, and then hopefully we will get up more downside in the next couple of weeks. So that's really what's going on in the stock markets. It's all about interest rates right now. So the interest rates in Germany, in Japan, in the UK, but also in the US, 10 years, 30 years are increasing. So this is kind of giving pressure on the stock market, but also shows that there's pressure in the financial system itself. So this is something what we will have to observe in the next couple of weeks in reality. And obviously for us, interesting is really the Bitcoin move. I mean, in the end, did exactly what I kind of was hoping for. I have to say, and I admit that I didn't enter a short on the futures yet because I still have the hope, and maybe it's really just hope and not really more that we can go towards 85,000. So I decided to not short here around the $80,000 area, in $82,000 area, because I think we can go higher. We have built some uptrend, and the stock market hasn't broken yet, and that's the core reason why I really didn't initiate a short here in Bitcoin. Though there could be some good reasons for that as well. And I would like to talk about this as well a little bit, because Bitcoin is now, I would say, the real beauty in the crypto space. We are able to recover a little bit the sell-off. So when we have a look at this, so from the sell-off, or when we sold off about 50% from the high, and overall, if we would correct just 50% of this sell, we do have the ability to go at least to the 90,000. Okay, so that's one part. So we've corrected a little bit, but in the end, there could be more. So when we look at this here, this 85,000 would be exactly a nice FIB retracement as well. So again, I am leaning towards this 85,000 as a target zone, but the others here don't look that great. So when we look at Ethereum, looks kind of horrible as well, as you can see. When we put this in perspective, from the high to the low, we correct 65%, and we would need to go to 3,300 in order to just correct 50% of that move. And I think in relative terms, it becomes obvious that this is a big ask. And basically here, we would need to go to 3,000 in order to just correct it by the FIB level of 38%. So doesn't look like that right now. I mean, to me, if you go to $2,000 area, I want to start to DCA. I mean, that's kind of my game plan here. So start to add positions here when we enter here in the $2,000 area, and then start to accumulate. Okay. But overall, carefully, because this is the weaker market here. And so I will be careful. I mean, and in the end, guys, if we are really honest to each other, this tariff low here isn't far out. And then we talk about $1,400, and then basically this whole crypto thing is bust. Hard to say, hard to judge. In the end, crypto is kind of wild west. Both can happen. We can go to 3,000, but we can also go to this $1,500 area. Nobody knows. So act really carefully, and don't put all your eggs into one basket. I had a Solana trade, and I think I committed to the Solana trade quite well. So I added here to the position here at the $90 area. I was able to, let's say, make some money on it, but in the end I lost because I was then stopped out. So I took a partial on this adding of the position, but also I was then stopped out. So this was more or less a scratch trade. Didn't make money, didn't lose money. And what I was actually kind of expecting was that we get another move up here. And we didn't see that. So right now, this initial first trade is still opened. Yeah, because the picture hasn't really changed, right? It needs more time. Conviction level, medium. Okay. In the end, and I think this is just reasonable. You never know. You never have high certainty because stuff can go wrong and stuff can go different than expected. I think this is normal. So this trade is still active. Takes though forever, and this is kind of the pain really to see because we are in this trade in for 60 days. Kind of annoying, yeah, and annoying to see that it comes back as well, close to target. Took some partial profits on the way up as well, but in the end, I thought we could go right now to the $100 area, and we did not. Okay, is it time to buy? Yeah, maybe time to add a little bit but probably on the spot market and not the futures. But this here looks quite well. AVEX, in my opinion, doesn't really look well. Also very weak. And we trade below this sell-off here, what we saw in October. We trade below that or around that area. Okay, and that's also some good point of, let's say, of the state of the market. So this was the wick. Here we trade at that wick. So market kind of finds support, but also there is no risky buyers jumping in. Chainlink looks definitely better, as you can see. Chainlink is trading above it, made a new low, but it trades above it, so this looks better. We still have some uptrend here. But what I saw as well is AV, and AV looks also, let's say, kind of horrible, I guess. So from the recent swing high, we've corrected really 80%, and this basically we have to question ourselves, obviously, what will happen if this thing would be broken. Okay, because there is a significant here in AV, some significant support here around the $70 area, $75 area. If this breaks, then we are in deep trouble, and then I don't really see a lot of stuff coming from the positive side in the short-term amount. Long-term, obviously, we could try to invest to hope that in the long run, AV has substance, but any speculative move is gone, right? So I would say everybody who said, hey, AVX is the bank of crypto market, blah, blah, blah. We know now better that actually there is not too much value. Cardano, same picture, was always range bound, but it's also looking horrible. And when we look at this year at the weekly chart, so we are trading really at these lows here, at the 20 cents lows. And I think it's not capitulation in my opinion, but I mean, we can see that there's not euphoria at all in that market. So we've lost in 6 months 40%. Something what I'm interesting to have a look at in the long run is here this trade. I mentioned it before, so kind of starting to become interested to maybe initiate a trade here. Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio. You can do this at OKX, for example. Something to have a look at that. Other than that, I don't think there is any really main significant move to the positive in the crypto space. Euro comes down. Something as well, I wanted to talk a little bit as well about my mining operations or mine. I wanted to talk to you about that to give you a little bit of an idea here, and I think it's quite eye-opening. So if you think about buying miners, be very careful, okay? And I want to well, first of all, I bought a miner here at miningshop.ch. Swiss guys ran away with the money. Okay, so the miningshop.ch, I bought some miners there. They ran away with the money. So have a conversation with attorneys and also probably with police, because in my opinion it's fraud. They declared they are liquidating the company. and they never delivered, took the money, never delivered. Lucky though, I just bought one expensive miner there. Lucky. Then I have some miners at Crypto Hall 24, and there as well, it's, I have to say, personally, as I'm a business owner myself, I'm not really happy. Okay, I mean they kind of maybe do a kind of better job probably. I mean they don't run away with your money, but in the end, also what I had there is we had miners in Dubai, didn't work out, had to move to Norway, then shut down, then it didn't work. And just to give you a perspective, 2 of my 16 miners I have with them are already broke. Okay, they're not working anymore. So it's not like you have something there which will work forever. You have obviously warranty for 1 year, I believe, but in the end, it's, I think you have such a high dependency on these people, and they are not really, I think, not really supportive. Okay, I basically have arguments with them all the time. When some miners are offline, I have to write them because they themselves they are not they're not really, I would say, taking care of it as I do for my clients and my traders. So maybe it's my expectation, what I have, that I really expect that people do a great job. But in the end, what I saw as well at Crypto Hall 24, that it's, you have to run behind the support to get service. And then I had another experience with another company, which also is kind of funny, which is called Million Miner. And they are great support. I wanted to buy 10 Casper miners there. And this was about, I think, 3 or 4 weeks ago. And I paid it, just to let you know, you pay the money, you're being promised, hey, this is that the miners will be there in 2 weeks, latest, everything is amazing, and you will be online soon. And I told them, I said, hey, I will to buy here now 10, but maybe more later. But I want to make sure that it's being delivered and delivered on time. And you know what happened? Nothing has been delivered. And then they said, they came to me then yesterday and told me, I want to be transparent to you. When we ordered it, it was showed on being in stock. And oops, and then basically what was available disappeared. And now they didn't produce anything. And I've heard this story before. Okay, I heard the story before at Crypto Hall 24 as well, because there as well, something about Crypto Hall 24, what I forgot. It took, I think, 4 months to deliver the Casper miners. Okay, so you give them money, and then it takes 4 months to deliver, and then it didn't work. So I think the Casper miners in 8 months had been online 1.5 or 2 months maximum. Okay, so first of all, promised delivery didn't come for 4 or 5 months. Then it was online for 1 month, I believe, in Dubai. Then we had to move it to Norway, and now the one is already doesn't work anymore. So what I'm trying to say is, be very careful here who you're doing business with. From what I can say until now, if you want to give it a try, this Million Miner looks the best in my opinion, because they are at least responsive, and they sent back the money then yesterday. Okay, so they sent back the money yesterday, so I didn't have to chase the money, and that's also good, because out of these 3, miningshop.ch moved away. I personally think it's fraud, so will have legal look after that. Crypto Hall, service-wise, in my opinion, not great. And mining and this Million Miner, ordered stuff, weren't able to deliver, then sent back the money. So small update there about the mining operation. So that's about it. So the companies involved, just to show you guys, was here millionminer.com, probably the recommendation for now. Then we have here Crypto Hall. Great reviews though, but I honestly I cannot follow that. I mean, here in Finland, I have a mining operation here as well. So I have some hydro miners with them here, and these are actually the only one which really work. Okay, so if you think about doing something with them, the only thing what I can really recommend is this hydro hosting in Finland, what they have, because other than that, they will not service you properly. Okay, there they are kind of more or less they have to take care of it properly. Other than that, you will run into issues. And this miningshop.ch is this is miningshop dot mineshop no mining what okay G okay, but okay, you get it. Okay, and it's not worth it really, so just be careful when it comes down to mining. Other than that, guys, what I have in mind, and just to let you know, I will probably switch this channel to German, because yeah, that's kind of what I have in mind. Talk more about trading systems here in the next weeks and months, but really German focused. And then that's kind of the plan, what I have in mind. Probably will do that in June or July, not really sure. Trading per se on my end goes very well. IQ Capital goes very well. So we will get a MetaTrader 5 infrastructure. We will get NinjaTrader TraderWeight. So if you want to trade with a prop firm which pays, which is reliable, check us out. Other than that, guys, I wish you a beautiful day and successful decisions in the markets. Goodbye.